Hey now, it's Sunday evening when I'm making this. Last evening of January, already 1 month gone. But I've just listened to this new release from Lamour Records. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to say this name right. Judbog Transformation. I'm just going to try to say the guy's real name here. It's on here. Okay, so Lamour Records, and this is also in relation in also Pure Recordings, one of those joint deals. I've done that myself. I know how that can work. This was just released on Friday. Transformation by Judbog. Piano. The description is cool, but I'm going to just try to say what it is I hear because I really like this, and I want to say that this delivers. It talks about being a sound where the piano's playing, whether or not it's human or inhuman, not mechanical but inhuman. That completely gets blurred at times. Now there's an ambient spatial quality to a lot of this, but at the same time there's a sound noise aspect, so it's not it's the sound will all of a sudden, it's like it will splinter into, like, in ways that are unusual. It's like, yeah, this strikes me as new sounding. It's like it's jarring at times, but not in a bad way, but more like it keeps your attention. Whoa, it's like this is hard to describe. This is really good. Transformation. Just got this a few days ago, last week I should say. And Lamour Records have been sending me records for a couple of years now. I don't know how many years, probably more than a couple, because I just lose track. And generally speaking, electronic. They sent me this one album, Pro 242. How to grab it? I've played the hell out of that. It's one of my favorites. But this is something that, okay, so a frame of reference is if you've heard of Nils Fromm, but this is maybe a little weirder, but at the same time it's real beautiful and spatial. But then, like I said, he'll mess with the sound in unexpected ways. I like that. Transformation. So, Victor, thank you so much for sending this to me. And this is the sort of thing that is not going to be pushing a lot of units out of the stores, but it's the sort of thing that, for those who take the time to discover this is going to be a real rich listening experience, and I highly recommend this. Transformation. I like that cover art too. I'm going to keep going, and this may be my Monday morning, because Sunday night, but it'll be maybe what I do for Monday. We'll see. I'm still sipping. It's 7 at night, but I'm having an evening cup. Straight coffee. My favorite pears, cinnamon nut swirl. People have been wanting to send me coffee, but it tends to sit. I've got a big variety of coffee, but this is my favorite, and so I tend to default to this. I'm a creature of habit. I'm a Cancer. Is that part of our astrological makeup. There's something to that, how you're to a degree, the old science, not the bullshit, but the actual ancient science. Pulled this, hadn't played it in a while. Gandalf, Gallery of Dreams, featuring Steve Hackett. And this starts off super good. The first track really highlights Steve Hackett and is the best thing about this. Some of the tracks on here are kind of watery, new agey, and it's like really skip, skip, skip. But that first one, worth it for that. Again, that's something that is true of me all along. Even though I've gone through a lot of records, I don't have all the records I've ever owned. I've had thousands that I've sold, traded, given away, all kinds of stories. But one thing that's still consistent is that the whole album doesn't have to be good for me to keep it. I like it when I like the whole album, but there are records where it's like, oh, something here happened, and it's like, okay, I like that, and I'll keep it for that. Okay, just been like that since I was a kid, starting because of, I think, the radio singles, that was the first way of collecting any music at all was singles, and B-sides, discovering good B-sides was like just gold. Okay, so I'm going to show what I just been playing or sitting here. Band from Finland, the next two things are from Finland. Tabula Rasa, 70s melodic progressive rock band. They sing in their native language, Ekkedien, Tanssi. And I love this. There's a similarity a bit at times to the band Wigwam, who are from the same, they're a band from Finland, right? See, sometimes I get them mixed up, Finland and Norway, because of Terje Ripdahl. But Eberhard Weber's German. But see, those people have all, in my head and in my music, in my head discography, those people have worked together so much I get them mixed up. But I almost forgot that I had picked this up. It's something I'd been wanting. This is a reissue. This is really good. Real good. Svart out of that label is what this stuff is coming out of. Jazz musician out of Finland. This is top rate jazz. Labyrinth. Eero Koivistoinen Quartet. I've shown this before when I bought it, but played it tonight. It's a double album with a single. I didn't get through everything tonight, but this is a fresh. It's not fusion. It's more on the side of giving you a head or a good composition, room for solos, but not boring. Then the European thing about the compositions. This doesn't sound like ECM, but it's that. I love a good composition. I was talking about that regarding Ronald Shannon Jackson. But that's one of the things I like about the European school. American jazz is a lot of blues based. But besides that, you can do amazing things with that. But the Europeans, when they don't try to cop the blues thing, because it really doesn't come natural to most of them, is when things are most interesting to me. And this is some good shit on here, some good compositions, okay? Still on a jazz tip. Pianist, Abdullah Ibrahim, Dollar Brand. Again, these are records over the years. I'm showing some repeats, but I'm showing you what I've been playing because it's like most of you haven't seen these old videos. I know some of you have actually watched all of them, but this pianist. I want to highly recommend him. It's idiosyncratic and super tasteful. Doesn't sound like anyone else, but once you cop his style, it's unmistakable. And it's real, man, who does he remind me of? He doesn't remind me of anyone, but it's the way that he's not like Thelonious Monk in that, just a little bit. There's a bit of dissonance, but mostly what it is there's this element of surprise or freshness to his runs and the way that he will express melodies. I don't have enough of his albums. I've got several. This one I was playing today, Nisa, solo piano. I could go on. Earlier today, I'm going to take this out because this is an original, and it's Cream, Wheels of Fire, when they put this out with that silver or aluminum that they covered them with, and it's peeling off, but Wheels of Fire. This is dope shit. One album live, one album studio. The studio album to me is, well, both albums are great, and I used to love when they would play this on the FM radio. Underground radio was the best when they would play Toad. That was back when drum solos were cool. Now it's like I skip drum solos. But Train Time going into Toad, they would play the whole side live at the Fillmore. But the studio side of this is just incredible. Besides the hit White Room, but everything. The other thing that's real apparent more to me now as I listen to this is how this was Ginger Baker's band. He was the one who initiated this. I've watched a whole lot about the band and these guys over the years. And you can hear how his drumming drives everything. And if anything, in prominence to my ears, it's Ginger, Jack, then Eric, as far as what I'm hearing. Prestoret, Mordhog, the one that Ginger recites, Those Were the Days, Deserted Cities of the Heart, Passing the Time, as you said, all these, this is just dope-ass album. Wouldn't mind finding a upgrade of it. I haven't seen a copy at all in the wild for years. I've had this for a long time. And yeah, Cream, when they were happening when I was a kid, Jack Bruce, he was my idol. He was bass idol. Saw someone post this online, so I pulled it because it had been a while. Philip Perkins. This is a compilation of his work. Hall of Flowers, A Flame of Ambition. Philip Perkins is a person who has a background in the industry of movies where he does a lot of tech work. I forget what you call it, but sound effects and all that stuff. But he's a master sound craftsman, sampler, collage maker, as well as musician. There's compositions on here as well. I have a couple more of his albums. Philip Perkins, Hall of Flowers, The Flame of My Ambition. This got played all the way through. This is probably my favorite Vangelis album. Antarctica and Opera Sauvage, I like those really well too. But Earth, I do have Aphrodite's Child 666. I have that on vinyl. This is nice. This is a French pressing. You don't see these often, but a black Vertigo spaceship. You know, the Vertigo spaceship is, in color, green, basically black and green. Love this album. It's beautiful. And also Earth. It's about the ecology, it's my deal. We care. This album is so beautiful. Now, on a completely different trip, was doing something earlier. Uploading some music some archive music that I'll be releasing on Bandcamp. But while I was working on that, I listened to some old Opeth, and this really came through good today. When I got turned on to Opeth and then started to collect them and go back, when I would listen to this stuff, a lot of times it'd be like, okay, this is rough. But time And when things settle in, then it's like, then you get perspective. This is really good, especially considering how young Michael Eckerfeld and the band were. My Arms Your Hearse. Really trying to push themselves. And this is a reissue from 2008, lovely blue vinyl. Good pressing too. Once again, most of my colored vinyl that in my collection sounds, most of it's pretty good. I can only think of a few records where it's like bad pressing, where it seems that it's related somehow to the color. I really like this band. Someone asked me recently about their latest, and I'm hoping that I know that Michael and the band are under a certain amount of pressure from their record label and contract to just keep cranking it out. And perhaps Michael pressures himself to do that. But I think after Encounter Venom, he needs to take a break and wait till something new comes along. It's just my opinion. This was a blind pull. I did it every now and then, and I was, see, like I'm when it comes to stuff like things like with this, is like I'll do it for a while, and then it'll go, and maybe I'll do it again. I was doing blind pulls for a while, then it was just like poof, it was just gone. Other things are like, well, that's the way I do it. But I pulled this blind, and I would not have listened to this otherwise. I don't know when I would have. The Notwist, The Devil, You and Me. Are they German? Got to know this band in the 2000s. I like them. I started to buy them, and then it was like, okay, a little goes a long way. There's a mixture of electronics with kind of an indie guitar thing and the sort of plaintive young white guy's voice going on. But the arrangements in some of these songs are really rather original. Where in This World, which they made a video for, I do like this quite a bit. I got to see them actually, and there's a connection, even a personal connection. But I got to see them back in the 2000s for free. They were on tour. Something happened where they ended up in Omaha without a date, but the slowdown was open, the night was open, and they just played for free because nobody knew who they were. It was a really good show. The keyboardist, the guy who was doing the electronics and some other stuff, I forget his name, he produced and worked with my friend Gunnar Kleeman, who I've recorded with. I'm on one of Kleeman's albums, a fellow from Denmark. I toured with Kleeman, US, a couple times. Very interesting, intense experience. I learned a lot. Belgian band Placebo, 1973. I like this better than the first album. Jazz rock is the right term for this. Michael Moulin, is that the name of the keyboardist? Mark Moulin. Good stuff. Good stuff. When I listen to this record now, let me get that out because this is going long. That's why I said I'll probably load it up tonight because it'll take a couple hours. I was talking to my older sister Stephanie about this recently. We recognize that we are detached kind of people, maybe even purposely so. And what I mean by that is, I like people, but I'm pretty detached. There was a time when I was younger where I tried to be like most people. I would try to call friends on a regular basis. And then it got to a point where it's like we were just repeating stupid things, and it was like, why? I stopped calling. Okay, but what I'm getting at is I've been online here, and there's people who have come and gone, and I don't know if they're around at all. But when I listen to stuff like this, I think of people like the fellow from Australia. I can see his name just escapes me, and then the other fella, I think he's in Switzerland. I love these people, but it's like I'm detached, but they come and go in my thoughts. Even the fellow up in Boston. See, I can't even think of people's names right. Penix comes to mind. And I can't think of the cat. They have great collections, but they come to mind sometimes when I play this music because they will be reference points that where some of these records, that's really where I heard of them from, is these guys, okay? Much love to any of y'all that are still watching. Much love to all of you. Robert Fripp, Network, a very short compilation. Played this today, enjoyed it. His version of Here Comes the Flood with Peter Gabriel is on here. Enjoyed that. McQueen, probably my favorite Siouxsie and the Banshees album, Superstition. Saw them about the time this album came out. Talbot Singh was in the band. They were amazing. I love this album, and the cover, just elegant, really fits. For this to be about a mid-period album for this band to be so strong, it just really bounced back. I think it's like really good songwriting, really good playing, but also it had commercial appeal. It did well. I think it did well. Almost done. Just playing some Porcupine Tree. Buying New Soul is the one I like off of this one. Recordings. I'll probably be getting that Steven Wilson new record. I have been checking it out, but also listening to some interviews with him. I like that fella, and I like where he's coming from. He's doing exactly what he wants to do, and he doesn't have to answer to, especially people in the audience who are stuck. It's like they think they own the artist. Like, you're supposed to do this. What? Frith, guitar solos. Brilliant. He played with paper clips and mirrors and about anything else he could find, and not making noise. This is the difference. That Coachman record that I mentioned the other day, that is just, I think, just really no good. This is an example of someone who takes sound and does unimaginable things with it. 22 minutes. Okay, this is going to take a while to upload, but at the same time, I want to just take a second. Because I watch the news through the internet internationally, and I do see all the unrest, Russia, my lord, Navalny. But the other thing that is real apparent is how the pandemic is real, and it is not, man, what a mess. So it is a challenge, isn't it? It's a challenge. And then seeing the US already, it's like just what I figured. It's like, fucking, I'm not a Democrat. It just looks like they're doing what I don't want them to do, which is to get back into war. Anyway, gotta make the best of this, folks. That's really all there is to it. You gotta make the best of it. So, peace unto you. And, yeah, just do what you need to do to stay cool.